Hi, good morning. It's Leah here. Just let me shut my tab down here on the computer. So some of you know I've been doing a 21-day series of lives inside of my group, Revitalize Lounge. And today I decided to come onto my public page and talk to you guys, and I'm going to share it to my group also, so if you give me just a second to do that. But some of you know I lately tend to have like these moments of inspiration when I'm in the shower in the morning. Some people think it's weird, some people think it's funny. Honestly, at first I thought it was kind of weird too, and now I'm kind of liking it because I don't know, I just get in there and my mind starts going and some pretty awesome stuff comes up. So I had a different plan for my live today actually, and when I was in the shower I had a different idea. So I'm coming on to share that, and I want to talk to you about why I decided to not be just a stay-at-home mom. So for those of you who don't know me, hang on one second, I'm just going to share this into my group. Sorry, hold on. There we are. Okay, now I'm going everywhere I need to be. All right, so yeah, I just wanted to come on here and talk about why I decided to not be just a stay-at-home mom. So for those of you who don't know me or don't know me well, my name is Leah Borski. I am the best-selling author of the book Eat to Beat Stress, and I'm a stress relief and nutrition coach for ambitious women. I work with mostly moms, but not all. And the moms that I work with mostly are business owners or work-at-home moms who juggle having a career and raising their babies at the same time. So I've been a work-at-home mom for 12 years. 7 years I worked remotely in the medical field, and then when I stopped doing that, I started working as a coach to help people with nutrition and self-care, and now I've moved into a bigger focus on stress relief for ambitious moms. I also homeschool my 2 kids. They're 11 and 7 years old. This is our 3rd year homeschooling. So we're finally starting to get our footing in that. It's a massive adjustment and takes some big learning for all of us. So we've been working on that. And I just our family relocated from New York City to the St. Louis area. I have been with my husband for 18 years of his military career, and we've moved all over the country. And this last move was our 5th move within 6 years time frame. So really chaotic, really hard to kind of get your bearings and feel rooted in a place. And so I know that my military spouse friends who are watching know that feeling all too well. So what I wanted to share today is how I got to this point of coaching and helping women who want to have both, who want to have a career and be home with their kids all day and take care of their kids and be the ones raising their kids and not like lose your marbles every day, all day. So I am going to give you just a little backstory. I grew up believing that women are for making and taking care of babies. I remember thinking that as a very young girl, and I'm the oldest of 5 kids, and I remember being nicknamed Mom with a Little Helper at like 4 years old, because I was the one carrying the diaper bags and doing all the things, and I was changing my sisters cloth diapers with pins at 5 years old. I was doing that. So at age 11, I actually went to childbirth classes with my mom. She was pregnant with my brother, who's the youngest of us. And I was her backup Lamaze coach because my dad could not be depended on to for sure be there when she went into labor. So that was my upbringing. Like, you're a mom and you do the mom things. In my mid-20s, before meeting my husband, I worked at a preschool, and it was in that job that I decided if I ever had kids, because at the time, honestly, I didn't even think that I wanted to have kids. But if I did, I would never send them to daycare. And there's some reasons for that, mostly being the kids that I worked with at that place that were the hardest to deal with, that had the most behavioral type problems, were very angry, very upset a lot, and just difficult to deal with most of the time. Those were the kids who were there 10, 12 hours a day. Their parents dropped them off at 7 in the morning and didn't come pick them up until after 5. And I put that together then, not even being a parent, but knowing like this, there's got to be a reason why these are the hardest kids and they're the ones that are here the most. They need their parents. So after I met my husband and we got married, I decided to go to school, and I decided to go into medical transcription because I knew that that was a profession that I could do working from home, so that when at this point I knew I wanted to have kids, and I knew that I could work as a medical transcriptionist and earn money and still be home with my kids when we had them. And I wanted to have my own money. That was always something. I always have been very independent that way. So I wanted to have my own income. I knew that I wanted to be home with my kids. I knew that I didn't want to go to work somewhere and basically earn enough money to pay someone else to raise my kids all day. That's not what I wanted. So, but there was another really big thing that that motivated me to do this, and that was I did not want to be just a housewife and child caregiver. I grew up watching my mom do absolutely nothing of her own, nothing for herself, ever. She was not happy. She was not a happy person, and she was very, very vocal about not enjoying being a mom. And I did not want that for my kids, and I did not want that for myself. And so there was an agreement between my husband and myself where I laid it out on the line, and I said, when we have kids, I'm not going to be the only one taking care of the house and taking care of the kids and spending time doing this and, you know, doing all the laundry and doing all the cleaning and all that kind of stuff. I refused to be that person, and that's not what I was signing up for. And so over the years, I have been told multiple times how lucky I am to have a husband who helps out around the house. I've been told that he does more than most husbands do, and that's maybe true, but I didn't marry most husbands. I married him, and he knew from the start that I was not willing to be that person, and he still knows I'm not willing to be that person. So it's not about luck that I have help. It's about I knew what I wanted, and I wasn't willing to settle for anything other than that. So what ended up happening was, because he's in the military, we had some kind of unwanted hiccups happen, and I ended up spending 2 years basically as a single mom. He was deployed for 7 months while I was pregnant with my daughter, our daughter, and then he was transferred to a different state. So me and the kids were living in Washington State. He was living in California and working down there. And we didn't have a choice about that. If I could have done anything to make that not happen, I would have bent over backwards to do it. But there was nothing that could be done, and it just was what it was, and it had to happen. And today I'm very thankful that that happened, but at the time I was really pissed off and I was really bitter. And that's not what I signed up for. I didn't want to be a single mom. I didn't want to be the only one. I refused. I did not want to be the only one doing everything. But that's where I ended up, and that's what I did. And we ended up after that living all together for a year in California, and then we got transferred to Key West, Florida, and we were there for 3 years. And during those 3 years, he was gone off and on about half the time that we were there. So he would be gone on the boat for 2 to 3 months at a time, and then they'd come back. It was very erratic. There was no real planning ahead or anything like that. And so again, I was in that position of being the only one. I was the one making all the decisions because I couldn't get a hold of him half the time, you know. I was the one doing all the things and deciding all the things and being all the things. And after a total of 5 years altogether of doing that, it just kind of became natural to me. I think we didn't even think about it. I think it was kind of like, I mean, I remember having fights a lot when we were in Key West because he felt like he should be able to just come back and take over everything. But he didn't know what we'd been doing for the last 3 months. He didn't know our routine. He didn't know, you know, at the time my daughter was 2, 3 years old. You know, it was really hard to just plug him back in as if he'd never been gone. And I thought a lot of the time that it was just me, that there's something wrong, that I can't just like go back and forth. And in talking to some other military wives, friends that I have made down there, I found out it's very normal. It happens to everyone that I talk to, that I felt comfortable with, like, oh my God, this is what's going on. Because I don't tend to talk about this kind of stuff. I tend to keep it to myself. I thought, you know, that's just me. And then when I found out it's not just me, it's a lot of military wives have this problem. And it's really hard to deal with. And it's really hard to like figure out your place again after. And it's hard for them too. Like they're gone and they want to come in and just be the man and take over and do all the stuff and be in charge and tell everyone how it's going to be. And I don't deal well with people telling me what to do. I never have. Even as a little kid, like that would get me in trouble a lot of times. You're not going to tell me what to do. I can decide for myself. I can, you know, I'm going to do what I want to do for myself. So we butted heads a lot about that. And this past summer, I hurt myself. I fell in a hole and sprained my ankle, and suddenly all this stuff started to come up. And I realized that I have been doing all the stuff for so long and didn't even realize how much I've been doing until I couldn't do any of it anymore. And he was doing it all and was like struggling. And the kids started helping and they're struggling. And pretty soon after, I don't know, 2 or 3 months, because I mean, this happened in July and we're still dealing with it. So about 3 months in, I remember there was a day when all of them like griped to me about how many times do I have to do the dishes today, or how, you know, I don't like doing this anymore. This stinks. I don't like. And I'm like, really? Like, really? Because I've been doing this for 11 years. And not always all by myself, but about half of it, I've done it all by myself. And now there's 3 of them taking over all the stuff that I used to do, and it's still too much. And that was a big eye opener for me, and it's been a big eye opener for my husband. It's been a huge eye opener for all of us. And what I realized during the process of all of this is that not only did neither of us have any kind of clue about how much I was really doing, but I think moms in general, women in general, have no idea. We don't give ourselves credit for all the things that we do day in and day out that seem like, oh, what's the big deal? That's what wives are supposed to do. That's what moms are supposed to do, right? But we still should have time for ourselves. We should still be able to take 5 minutes and do something just for me and not feel guilty about it. And what I am seeing in the work at home mom world is that that's not happening. Moms are freaking out, frazzled, feeling bad when they're with their kids because they should be getting work projects done, feeling bad when they're working because they should be spending time with their kids. They're running around in circles and feeling like they're not getting anywhere, and it's super frustrating, and it's just bad, and it doesn't need to be that way. And so what I did was I started doing these live sessions inside of my group. It's a women's only group. Excuse me. And Saturday, out of the blue, it was a surprise to me. I didn't plan this ahead of time. It was just something that came up that I thought would be helpful for moms in my group. So I created a little mini workshop. It was just a half an hour. I talked about, letting go of the guilt and how to weave more time into your day and how to get help and how to delegate and all this kind of stuff. And I gave a little tool that women can print out and write on it. Like, here's what you have to do and how to, and exactly step by step, like, you're going to write this list, you're going to plug it in here and here, you're going to put it on your fridge where your husband can see it, and you're going to tell him, this is the stuff that needs to be done. And I, like, daily, I can't get to this and this. Can you help me? Or could you do this today? Or could you do that today? Or I really need you to do this today because I have this, and this going on. And I think, I don't know how many people watched it, but not everyone in my group. And it got me wondering, like, why, if someone is giving you exactly the tool that you need to make it easy for yourself to have an extra 20 to 60 minutes a day, when you're saying over and over and over again, I'm swamped, I'm drowning in stuff to do, I don't know how to do this, I can't balance it, I feel guilty all the time, I don't have time for anything extra, I don't have time, even to take a 5-minute break in the daytime, and then this thing is like handed over to you and then you're still not using it. I can't understand that. And I think that it's just like so ingrained in us that we're not supposed to have time for ourselves. And I believe that that's wrong. I don't believe that moms are supposed to just do mom things and clean the house and wipe the baby's faces and make sure everyone's fed, and that's it, and not take care of ourselves. How many moms do you know that go through the day and don't even eat themselves? Like, they're maybe picking little scraps off their kids' plates, but the kids are eating and you're already up washing dishes, and then they run off to do something else and you're behind them all day long. You're behind them picking up after them all day long. We are women who can manage 5 people's schedules and do everything else, do all the things. We can have the house perfect. We can have our, everything. The laundry's done, the kids are fed, everything's done, but we can't sit down for 10 minutes and make a list of all the things that we do and then delegate some stuff out so that we have help. that's wrong. We need to change what is happening. We need to change it for ourselves. And I know that the women who are ambitious enough to take on running a business or homeschooling their kids and being home with their kids all day and being a parent, a caregiver, a nurturer to those kids. If you're the person who's committed to doing all those things, then I know damn well that you have the capability of making a list and delegating some tasks. So that is what I want for you. I want you to know that you are so much more powerful than you give yourself credit for. You are so much more capable than you even realize, and you're doing so much more than you even know. And it sucks so bad that I had to hurt myself and be on crutches for 5 months to realize, almost 5 months, to realize that that's where I was at. And I don't want that for you. And I believe that if you keep going on the path that you're on and not taking breaks and not taking care of yourself and not asking for help or letting anyone do things or letting things not be done your way, but just have them done, if you can't let that go, it's gonna somehow, some way, you're going to be forced to have to do something about it. And that's just the way that it is. And I truly, truly believe that. So if you're not in my group already, it's Revitalize Lounge. If what I am saying speaks to you, makes any kind of sense to you whatsoever, I want you in there. I want you to get this tool that I created that will help you and will get you started. Just feeling more ease and calm in all the stuff that you are taking on, because you're amazing and you're doing this already, and you could be doing so much more and feel so much better overall just by taking some time for yourself and letting someone help you. Okay, so I'm going to put the link for my group underneath this. I would love for you to join us in there. I have like 16 more days of lives coming every day and some really juicy tips and tools and helpful stuff for you, so we can get this turned around and get you feeling good and taken care of and happy as a mom. Okay, thanks for tuning in. I will see you in the group. Bye.